All right. Well, welcome everybody. Fair and I are so excited that you're here to hear more about Plexus tonight. Fair has actually been using these products for a good while, but we've never had a launch party or a time for her to kind of explain what Plexus has done for her personally. And so we want to go over her testimony and mine. My name is Edna Swindle. I'm a Senior Gold Ambassador with Plexus. I've been doing this a little over 2 years, and it has been such a huge blessing that I didn't expect would happen at all. But Fair has found products and a company that she loves and wants to share it with you. So that's why we got together. We're like, okay, let's just do a little online thing. So we don't have to get people to come somewhere. You can just do it from the comfort of your own home. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my testimony at some point. She's going to share why she has done Plexus and how it's kind of tied into her life and her lifestyle. But again, we're so excited you're on to support your friend. And tonight I want to give y'all a disclaimer. We are going to be mindful of the time. And this is going to be a crash course of Plexus and Fair's story and mine and how, Plexus is all about gut health and things like that. So it's going to be very quick. However, we're hoping that you'll leave here with some knowledge of what our products do. Now, you might leave here tonight with more questions than you had coming into the meeting, and that's okay. We want to continue these conversations once the meeting's over and get your questions answered. But maybe tonight will be a light bulb moment of, okay, well, I didn't know that this was linked to that, and I didn't know that my symptoms of this was linked to this thing. So, but if you have questions leaving here tonight, we are here to answer your questions. There is a chat box, I think at the bottom, maybe right-hand part of your screen. So if you have a question during the meeting, feel free to chat in that little chat box. However, at the end, we will have some Q&A. So, if you don't want to type that up in the middle of the meeting, then we'll have some time that I can answer some questions as well. So, disclaimer about our products. Plexus does not claim to treat, cure, prevent any diseases. And our stories from a business standpoint, it's simply coming from independent Plexus ambassadors, and we all have different stories as far as that goes. So, to start, I want to share with y'all a little bit of my testimony and why I started Plexus. I live in the Delta part of Mississippi, near Clarksdale. I live in a little town called Sumner. I have 2 children and pregnant with number 3. And when I started Plexus, like I mentioned before, I was a little over 2 years ago, and I really almost have to back up to my college story. So I grew up in a very health-conscious family with the mentality of let food be thy medicine and preventative health through eating right and exercising. But when I went to Ole Miss my freshman year, all that went out the window. I started eating whatever I wanted. I started, of course, drinking, which led to, the munchies. I started getting stressed with school, and all of those things played a huge role in how I ended up feeling my freshman year. I gained probably the freshman 25, close to 30 pounds, and I felt very, very lethargic. I just remember going into one of my test one day in college, and I literally had such a foggy brain feeling that I could not concentrate. I mean, I would sit there and read the question over and over, and I'm like, this is not right. This is not how I'm supposed to feel. And then also because of the way that I was eating, the sedentary lifestyle I was leading that freshman year, gaining weight, all of that, it also led to depression. I remember wanting to sleep a lot during the day. And then it just I got in this horrible cycle. I felt bad. I didn't want to exercise. I didn't want to exercise. I didn't want to, because of that, I didn't want to eat right. And it just got me in a funk. And so I craved carbs and sugar like a maniac, no lie. So after my freshman year, because of the influence of my parents, I knew what I needed to do. I knew I needed to clean up my diet. I knew I needed to get into exercising. And so I did exactly that. And then I started taking a good probiotic from Whole Foods, because Whole Foods has good stuff, just figured that that's something I needed to do, because I knew that I had a problem with my gut, because I had just read about that. And I'll go over more of that gut health stuff later. But so then I started falling in love with exercise for myself. I got my personal trainer's license after college. I started teaching spin classes at my parents' fitness center. And I really did feel a lot better. However, I still had an awful sweet tooth. I could eat clean all day long, but at night I would want to raid our kitchen cabinets, grab something sweet. Still felt like I needed a nap every single afternoon, and I just felt like I wasn't giving my family my all. I was not all in with them. I was a tired mom, and I knew that my body just didn't feel the way it's supposed to be. I knew I didn't feel balanced. So come Plexus, have a friend that kept bugging me about it, saying, Edna, you need to try Plexus. I'm like, oh, I don't believe in products. Even as a personal trainer, I was like, I'm against them. I think that I need my clean eating, my water, my exercise, and I'm good to go. But she's like, I know you take a probiotic from Whole Foods, though, so you need to try ours. Ours is different. And so honestly, to make her happy, I tried it. And I just went ahead and went the wholesale ambassador route because I wanted the cheapest price. And I can honestly say 4 to 5 weeks in, I felt completely different. First of all, I noticed that I wasn't as tired. I didn't want naps every afternoon. And then I started noticing that I had a clearer mind. Then even my husband noticed. I didn't even say anything to him to see if he kind of noticed. He's like, you weren't talking about craving sweets. I'm the one that's wanting them. I'm like, what's the deal? You're usually the one that wants them. And for me, Plexus was the piece of the puzzle that was missing that made my entire health balance out. It's just the way that your body's supposed to feel and function. And it just made me want to eat even healthier. I recovered quicker from my workouts. And again, I just felt really, really balanced. I started sharing with friends and family and just told them what it was doing for me. And I mean, ever since then, it's history. It's just been such a huge blessing. My husband even has a great testimony through it. He's like, I'll just try it because you're doing it. And he had trouble falling asleep. And then once he was asleep, he would have a hard time waking up in the mornings. And so his biggest testimony, even something as simple as sleep, if we don't get good sleep, I mean, you know that we're not acting ourselves during the day. So he sleeps like a rock, wakes up feeling refreshed. At nighttime, he sometimes falls asleep before I do, which is saying something because I'm usually out at the end of the day. So I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm with them all the time. I have energy to go throughout the day. It's just been such a huge blessing in so many ways. So enough from me. Y'all came to hear from Fair. So I'm going to unmute her and let her share a little bit of her testimony and how long she's been doing this. Okay, Fair, I think you're unmuted.
Okay. Hey guys, thank y'all so much for getting on tonight. I really appreciate it. Excited y'all are getting to hear some more about Plexus. I'm just going to tell you a little bit kind of about how I came to Plexus and what it's done for me since I started it. So I first heard about it, I believe it was like mid-year 2015. I had seen Edna post some stuff on Facebook and was very intrigued by what she was saying. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not into these Facebook gimmicks, like not going to worry about it. But I was still intrigued by what she was saying. So anyway, she ended up reaching out to me later and just wanted to know if I was interested. And so I was, and I said, yes, please, send me some information. So she did, and I read through it. And, being a pharmacist, I understood what they were saying about how the products worked, and it made a lot of sense to me. But at the same time, I wasn't quite ready at that point financially to make that leap. So I passed at that time, but Edna and I stayed in touch, and she always let me know of, new incentives she had going on or specials that she was putting out there. And so I always was kind of in the loop of what was going on. And it was still in the back of my mind that this was something I probably wanted to try. So fast forward to like spring 2016, Edna reached out to me again, and I was ready at that point to kind of go for it. But Taylor and I were thinking about having another baby, and I was worried about, taking products while I was trying to get pregnant or being pregnant. And so I said, let me talk to my doctor and see what he says, and then we'll go from there. So I did, and, he thought they were fine since they were all plant-based and natural products. So I felt comfortable going ahead and giving them a try. So that was like in March of 2016. And, the first thing I really noticed was that my cravings for sweets just kind of went away. And really, when I gave into those cravings and ate something sweet, it kind of made me feel yuck. Like I just was like, no, this is not how I want to feel. So it just made me not want them anymore, which was huge for me because that's like my main weakness is sweet. So that was a big deal that I wasn't wanting to have sweets every day. So that was kind of the first big thing that I noticed. Well, fast forward to June, and I found out I was pregnant with our baby girl. And I was just really weird about putting other stuff in my body while I was pregnant. And so I just kind of made the decision that I wasn't going to use them while I was pregnant. And even though my doctor said it was fine, and I literally only took my prenatal vitamins, like I just didn't want to put anything extra into my body. So looking back, I wish I would have, because I think I would have felt a lot better, because I felt like crap my entire pregnancy. But anyway, as soon as Lily was born, I was like, I'm so ready to get back on these products. So she was born in February. And then I started back probably like 6 weeks after she was born. And when I had signed up with Edna originally, I started as a preferred customer. So that's what I stayed at when I first started my products back after Lily was born. And I would say within about 30 days, I was feeling again like I did not need my sweets throughout the day. And I was that girl literally in the pharmacy. I would, at 4 o'clock, clockwork, my sugar would tank, and I would be shaky and nauseous and dizzy and sweating, like classic hypoglycemia symptoms. And I would have to eat, literally, I'd eat a box of Goobers or I'd eat a box of Cheez-Its. And then I just feel like crap again because I was eating junk. And so it was just this bad cycle that I was in. So, like I said, about 30 days into it, I realized I don't need that box of Goobers at 4 o'clock anymore. And I can make it through my shift without having that need for sweets. And so I was also, postpartum and trying to lose weight. And you can't really lose weight when you're eating a box of Reese Pieces every afternoon. So the fact that I didn't want to do that anymore was huge. So that was kind of the first thing that I noticed was, I'm not having that sugar crash. I'm making it through my day, feeling good, and I'm able to say no to those foods that I used to not be able to say no to. So the second thing that I've really noticed, and this has kind of come a little bit later, but what's even been a bigger deal to me is that my energy has increased tremendously. Y'all know having a baby is hard work, and having two babies is 2 times the hard work. And after Lily was born, I was just exhausted. And yes, a lot of that is, you have a newborn, like you're supposed to be tired, but it was more than that for me. When I was off work, I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to take a nap on the couch, and Leo wanted to play, and I just wanted him to take a nap too because I was exhausted. And I just felt guilty because I wasn't being that mom that he needed me to be, because I was just so tired. And so I just didn't feel like I was ever going to get out of the fog of being a mom to 2 little ones. And it was just a bad feeling to be in. But I can honestly say now, like, I feel like I've turned that corner, and that I have the energy to work a 12-hour shift and to come home and to, do the things I need to do around the house, but also be able to be there for my kids and to play and to have fun and to be present with them and not just be so tired that all I want them to do is go to bed. And that's just huge for me. I mean, I just, emotionally, like, it's just such a better feeling to know that I can do things with my kids. I want them to see me being active. I want them to be active. And I feel like these products have helped me do that for them. So those are kind of the biggest things that have really made an impact on my life and why I'm excited about them. And I think y'all know that I'm not one to get wrapped up in, things like this, but it has been a blessing. And I just think that it's made such a difference in my life so far. And I just want to share it with all the people that I love. So that's just kind of a little bit of my story.
I love it. I've never really heard the full story from you before, so I was really taking all that in. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Fair. It's just like, I mean, you cannot put, in my opinion, a price tag on the way that you feel. I mean, you can be someone that's one extreme that takes a ton of medication, and you have this amazing testimony with Plexus, and you're like, oh, I got off all this medication. Like our upline in the company, it's from Tupelo. She's a retired pharmacist now. Only 42 years old, was on 7 medications and got out every single one of them simply from Plexus. But you might be just sitting here being like, I'm pretty healthy. I take a multivitamin. I could use more energy. But, I mean, even simple stuff like wanting more energy when you're a mom or a wife or a working person, I mean, those things are very important to have quality of life. And, I wanted to say this earlier. Fair and I are kind of alike in this way. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like, woo, like you have to have these products and because of this, I'm one of those real people. And if I say this is life changing, like my friends listen to me because they're like, you don't say this kind of stuff. I'm like, I know, because it's something, it's not because I'm a hardcore salesperson. I share this or the way, Fair sharing. It's because we believe in this and we want everyone to benefit from it the way that we have. So y'all want to hear about the products, I know, and so I'm going to share a little bit about that with you tonight. And I do have some notes because I'm one of those that I can get really off track if I let myself. So if I look down, I apologize. I have to have them. So let's see. Again, I'm going to give a crash course over some of our products. So it's going to be pretty quick, but it'll at least give you a general idea of what they do. What I love more than anything about our products is that they are plant-based. They are targeting our root issues of so many of the things that we're dealing with as Americans. You see a lot of companies out there right now, and you're probably like, well, how do I compare this to this? And what about this? And what about that? Well, Plexus is totally different in the way that we approach everything. Again, it's targeting root issues, eliminating them, and helping you feel balanced. A lot of other companies are putting a Band-Aid over the symptom, and they are not targeting root issues. So our products are plant-based. Our main products do not contain caffeine. We do not have any artificial sweeteners or dyes in any of our products, which is huge in my opinion too, because I'm a researcher. I'm a person that, anything artificial, whatever, that does not go in this body. So when you hear about people saying, well, Plexus helped me with migraines, it helped me with IBS, it helped me with insomnia, I mean, you name it. And, they're like, I've heard so many testimonies, and I've had so many of my personal customers have such great testimonies from diverse issues. The reason is because, again, we get to the root. So if you have a question while you're sitting there tonight, thinking, well, I wonder if Plexus can address this issue I deal with, just ask us, because I want you to know, some of the things, the reasons it could help you. So it's amazing what can happen when you address the root issues of blood sugar stabilization, inflammation, gut health, and nutrient absorption. Those 4 things are the root of how our products help your body get balanced out. So we don't have a huge line of products. We have 17 total, but I'm going to share four of them with you tonight. That some of them I already mentioned, like our probiotic is different and stuff like that. But I'm going to start with our Triplex, which is our most popular combo. It consists of the Slim Drink, the BioCleanse, and then I just ran out of ProBio 5 yesterday, and it got in the trash, and that I'm already sad. My shipment's supposed to come in tomorrow because it's my favorite product. But the Plexus Slim is our pink drink. It's our flagship product. You drink it once a day. You mix it in water. It's not a meal replacement. It's just something that you add into your regimen, your health regimen. And it does a lot of different things, but the two main things I'm going to focus on is that it helps stabilize your blood sugar levels. So even if you're not someone that has, a lot of blood sugar issues or whatnot, if you are someone that's wanting more energy, Slim is going to help you. You're not going through peaks and valleys all day long of spikes in energy then lows. And I love how it's not through caffeine, that it's going to help you have natural sustained energy through the entire day. It simply balances your blood sugar levels. And again, that's going to help you not binge eat on, whatever your go-to is when you're hungry or need more energy or whatnot. So I love that. Also, I want to mention, if you don't need to lose weight, you will not lose weight off of Slim. It's a stabilizer. So like my husband, he loves the Slim. He doesn't need to lose any weight, but he's able to still take it because he loves the benefits of it. It detoxifies your body, and it stabilizes your blood sugar through the ingredient called chromium. Also, the Slim addresses inflammation. Has a powerful anti-inflammatory that's called alpha lipoic acid, which is found in, So a lot of people like myself that love to work out, I ran a marathon in December, never had any injury, never had any issues going on with my body because of the anti-inflammatory. So a lot of people are saying that they have decreased pain also with this. You can look up how inflammation affects so many things in your body. Just Google it. It really does affect so much. So what was I going to say? This helps my sugar cravings so much too. So anyway, I love it. I look forward to drinking it every day. It's really good. It's yummy. And then it also has new prebiotics they've added to it, which is actually like Miracle-Gro for probiotics. So that's the next product I want to talk about. It's our ProBio 5. It is our probiotic. So many of you have heard that taking a probiotic is very good for you. You might not know the reasons why. You hear a lot about it even on commercials these days. But let me tell you why taking ProBio 5 is different than any other out there. It not only contains the good strains of bacteria that you need, but it also contains digestive enzymes and an antifungal that's actually going to break up bad bacteria within our digestive system. So in our digestive system, we have something called microflora. And if that is imbalanced, then your body can have a lot of different issues, like I was mentioning earlier, that lead to a lot of things that's imbalanced. And it can be through imbalance through stress, antibiotics, standard American diet. So I can probably get all of y'all to raise your hands saying, I've been stressed at some point, I've taken antibiotic at some point, I definitely have eaten some standard American diet type food. So a lot of Americans have an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in their gut. So you can't just crowd out bad bacteria with good. So you need that antifungal that's in our ProBio 5 to actually kill the bad while giving you the good. So that's what makes our ProBio 5 super unique. That's why when I took a probiotic from Whole Foods, it wasn't doing a lot for me. When I took ours, that's when it was a game changer and made all the difference in the world. let's see, moving on to BioCleanse. I say that BioCleanse and ProBio 5 are like a little married couple. You have to take both of them together. Well, I suggest taking both of them together. They work well together. Our BioCleanse is a magnesium supplement, mainly. It does two things. It oxygenates your bloodstream and digestive system. And what I've learned is that bacteria can't live in a well-oxygenated environment. Bad bacteria can't. So what the BioCleanse is doing is it's taking the bacteria that the probiotic has killed and further killing it and eliminating it out of your system. It's not a cleanse that you're going to be running to the bathroom all the time, so you don't have to worry about that. I've had personal customers that have been one extreme to the other. They go too much or they don't go at all, and it is a regulator, it's a neutralizer. And this is the example I always use. This is gross, but it gives you a mental picture. If you're taking the ProBio 5 without the BioCleanse, it's like you're scrubbing the toilet without flushing it after. So they really work very, very well together. I also love, because of the oxygenation that it adds to your system, knowing that when I'm working out, that it's helping oxygenate my bloodstream. The last product that I'm going to talk about is our X Factor multivitamin. The triplex, those three that I mentioned, plus this is what we call our Fab 4. X Factor is different than any multivitamin you could take. Honestly, I hated taking multivitamins before. They made me nauseated. They made me burp. I know it's nasty. It's just, I didn't like them at all, and I was not consistent with taking them. X Factor, I do not miss a day. First of all, the reason that makes ours so different is it contains aloe, so like an aloe vera plant. Aloe helps you absorb nutrients in your body up to 300% more than not having aloe in it. So if you feel like you've taken a multi in the past and it's just going straight through your system and you're not absorbing anything, that's not going to happen with our X Factor. So my nails and my hair have never been stronger. And then, let's see, there's something else I was going to mention about the X Factor. So I take this along with my Slim. Oh, I was going to say that also, if you're trying to eat somewhat healthy, not only are you absorbing the nutrients better from the vitamin, but you're also absorbing nutrients from your food better when you're taking the X Factor. So I love that as well. There's been more and more research showing that folic acid cannot be absorbed very well in a lot of people's body. It's very hard on your system. So in our X Factor, we have the methylated folate in it, which is, so it's helping a lot of people. So with that as well. So I'm loving it while I'm pregnant. And it's been awesome. Love it. So I am going to switch gears and just say that I have really grown to believe that Plexus really can be for everybody and anybody can benefit from it. And that's, again, a strong statement. But like I mentioned before, if you're someone that has a lot of health problems or someone that just wants to continue a healthy lifestyle, Plexus really is a good fit for everybody. If y'all haven't read it yet, on the event page, I have Candace Waterer's story. She is our upline pharmacist that I mentioned that has an amazing testimony. If y'all want to, I would really highly encourage you to go read that testimony, because it's very encouraging and insightful, and seeing that, you know, even someone that's very unhealthy, or someone just even that has anxiety or depression, like how this all can be linked to gut health. If y'all haven't ever heard of Candida, I really suggest y'all getting on Google and researching it tonight, right after this meeting. It's called Candida. It's basically yeast overgrowth or bacteria overgrowth in our body, and what all it can be linked to. Like I mentioned, it can be linked to depression, anxiety, I mean, just even things like that. So I've been very thankful that this opportunity has come along for my health, but also for my family. I'm able to now stay at home full time with my kiddos, homeschooling them, and that's been a huge blessing. I've met so many wonderful friends through this, and like I had that mentality of a lot of people, like I'm skeptical, network marketing just seems weird. But I've had such a great experience with getting to know so many wonderful people that all felt the same way, that are all doing this. And what I've loved is that there's no pressure ever with doing this, but all the opportunity in the world. And so it's really, really fun. I've enjoyed sharing with others. I think it's part of my personal trainer inside of me, and also part of me, like in college, I wanted to go to nursing school. Like it's just fulfilling what I already believe as far as a healthy lifestyle, wanting to help others, and now I'm even able to do that at home. So all of our products do have a 60-day full money back guarantee. There are 3 different ways that you can buy. There's retail, which is a full cost order as a customer. And I think I've had maybe 2 in my whole 2 years of doing this, 2 people ever order retail, because it's just the most expensive. The other way is through a preferred customer. You do get on auto shipments, but when you start your first order, you create your own username and password, so you can log in at any point in time and edit your orders, cancel it. There's no strings attached, but you do have a discounted price per order. And then the third way is through Wholesale Ambassador. It's $35 a year to get wholesale prices. It's just like a Sam's or Costco membership. Again, there are no strings attached. That's another reason why we love this company so much. You do not have to sell by any means, but if you had a friend or family member that wanted to buy from you, you could benefit and get your products paid for. So Fair has a special that she is going to run from now until tomorrow night at 11 p.m. If you order a triplex as a preferred customer, you will get $10 off your order. And then if you order as an ambassador for the wholesale route, then she will give you $20 off that $35 yearly fee. So I'm about to open it up for questions, and you can either unmute yourself or I can unmute you if you kind of give me some kind of motion, or there's a chat box. Like I said, it depends on what device you're on, but it's somewhere on your screen that you can also type in a question. So don't leave here with a question in your mind that you are scared to ask. Just, we're here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up for anyone that might have anything to say. And we appreciate y'all's time and getting on a weeknight so much. I know a lot of y'all are really busy. I'm going to stop the recording.